Welcome to Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including a John Wick 4 director's cut. Cool, man. Mission Impossible 7, Tom Cruise talks about one of the stunts that's going to be in the movie. We got some horror movie news about Insidious 5, what M. Night Shyamalan's next movie is going to be about. Oppenheimer is being clouded as being a bit, well, horrific, unbelievable. El Muerto Cancelled. Seriously? There's a bunch of controversy around Secret Invasion that debuted on Disney Plus yesterday as well. But we start off today's show by talking about what's opening up this weekend, and that's Jennifer Lawrence opening up with No Hard Feelings. And co-star had to look her in the eyes and say, let's F for the chemistry read. Then left Harvard to go film. So this guy was in Harvard and then went to film with Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, and it's a raunchy comedy, guys. Really raunchy. No Hard Feelings. And I will be going to see this Saturday morning. So I can't go see it today. I know that it opens up today, guys. So it's like Thursday previews. No Hard Feelings and Asteroid City open up this week. So on wide release. So out of those two, you got those two choices. But we'll be taking a look at No Hard Feelings here first because, hey, I'm a Jennifer Lawrence fan. Raunchy comedies try for a comeback in theaters, and it's rated R. Like you said, the table read was "Let's go F." Like that's there's like a snippet of her saying the F bomb, F this and F that in this movie, and it's going to be like, yeah, rated R, raunchy comedy. I'm on board for it, man. I'm actually looking forward to it. So I hope that I'm going to come out of this thing laughing. You know, just saying that I had a lot of fun time with No Hard Feelings. Let's see what people are saying about it on the old tomato meter. 64% by the critics, 94% by the audience. Okay, an hour and 43 minutes. That's what I like to see for a comedy. Comedy should not even be close to the 2-hour mark, in my opinion. 64% by critics. That's expected. Critics have been kind of mixed. Like, look, Indiana Jones 5, there's 59%. Critics have been kind of like getting it wrong lately. I'm just looking fun, silly, popcorn, shoving popcorn in my mouth kind of thing. And not really caring too much about the story structure. You guys know how analytical I am when it comes to diagnosing movies. I'm not going to be looking for that here. Lawrence delivers a performance that's long overdue. She finally gets an opportunity to show off her comedic chops and her biting humor, and executes it with years of dramatic acting in her bag. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Comedy too. She's got a really cool sense of humor, and I hope that comes off in this movie. No Hard Feelings works better than it ought to. The preposterousness of the setup is naturally part of the joke. The preposterousness of it. Yeah. So if you don't know about the synopsis of this, basically, she's down on her luck, right? And the parents of this dude, like, he's socially awkward, right? He doesn't know how to talk to girls and stuff, so they hire her to take his V card, I think. That's basically the premise. And then, of course, he doesn't want any part of that. He's naive, and like, I mean, a woman like Jennifer Lawrence says that she wants to have a piece of you, and you're like, clueless about it. Yeah, that's the preposterousness of it, right? But I all I want is just to have a nice fun time with this. Maybe it'll have a little bit of an emotional backbone where, yeah, maybe they will grow to actually like each other. That would be kind of nice to see have happen, right? No Hard Feelings, guys. Are you going to go out and check it out this weekend? I think I will. I'm on board for this. I just, I need that laugh. We all need that laugh in our lives every now and then, right? Opening this weekend, Jennifer Lawrence, No Hard Feelings. What do you think about that? Are you going to go check it out? Also opening up this weekend is Asteroid City. Asteroid City. Wes Anderson. Review. Well, yeah, of course the reviews are out. Wes Anderson's new film is a piece of 1950s desert Americana that's visually dazzling and dramatically inert. Ooh, well, that's quite the word salad there, right? desert Americana that's visually dazzling and dramatically inert. The director's creation of a tiny desert town. Okay, well, yeah, we know about this. It's like a bunch of eccentric people that go out in the desert to look at an asteroid that's going to fly by or something. It crashes, and then they get quarantined by the government in Asteroid City, right? The cast for it is huge. Tom Hanks, Scarlett Johansson, Jason Schwartzman. Big cast. And yeah, I'm going to go see this on Saturday as well. I'll take in a double feature of No Hard Feelings in Asteroid City. So pay attention for my straight out of the theater reactions for these ones. I'm mostly watching it for ScarJo. You know how much I love her, right? She's my favorite actress. In fact, how about that? Asteroid City has my favorite actress, Scarlett Johansson. No Hard Feelings has my second favorite actress in Jennifer Lawrence. So cool. My two favorite actresses are going to be in movies this week. And of course, I'm going to go see a double feature with both of them. Of course, how could I not? Let's see what the critics are saying about Asteroid City. Oh, 75% by critics, 60% by the audience. Yeah. Now, I've heard some of the buzz coming out of this one that Wes Anderson has become a little Taika Waititi-ish in his ways. That you know how if you thought that Thor: Love and Thunder was like too much Taika Waititi, like they just let him go too much and they didn't rein him in. That's what I'm hearing about Asteroid City for Wes Anderson. That he's got this very eccentric style. If you've watched other things like Grand Budapest Hotel, like that kind of flavor, it's got like cartoonish bits to it. The style, the acting, the cuts. This is apparently him on Overboard. So, Asteroid City. Now, this one's an hour and 44 minutes, which is good for me because normally you hear these art house films are like over 2 hours and you're just like, oh, God, I don't know if I can handle it, man. But an hour and 44 should be digestible. Let's see what people are saying in the snapshot reviews. All right. Seattle Times says, while the concept sometimes seems unnecessarily complicated, I'm growing fonder of Asteroid City the more I think of it. Well, that's good. That's good, actually. San Jose Mercury Press or News says, this is the cinematic equivalent of cotton candy. Don't know what that's supposed to mean, but let's take a look at a bad one here. Maybe the whole endeavor is some kind of self-portrait of an artist who doesn't know what he wants to say anymore. Ooh, that's a jab. That's a jab at Wes Anderson. Washington Post says, cute yet frustratingly remote. And that's a positive review, man. That's a positive review. I don't know about that one, guys. So, out of Asteroid City and No Hard Feelings, what are you going to go see this weekend? Asteroid City? No Hard Feelings. I think I'm seeing both, but if I had to choose out of the two, as much as I love Scarlett Johansson, if I only had to choose out of the two because I don't have a whole lot of money, I would say I would go with Jennifer Lawrence in the comedy, just because I want to be able to come out going, yeah, instead of being in the theater. Because Asteroid City, there's an aspect of that where if you're not into the hipster kind of thing, if you're not into the art house kind of thing, then it may feel a little bit like homework, which is why perhaps that the audience score for Asteroid City is at 60%. But as we look at the box office, I still think that The Flash may hold on to the number one spot. Some people are forecasting Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is going to leapfrog Flash and Elemental and go into the first spot. So, based on that, let's say that Flash drops 60%, so that it drops down to, say, 20 to 25 million. Elemental will be cut in half as well. Obviously, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is not going to make 20 to 25 million. That means it'll only drop like 80%, 85%. No, it's not going to do that. But it poses the question, can No Hard Feelings or Asteroid City make more than 20 to 25 million? Well, Asteroid City did come out good in its early releases, so it's possible that it could. I don't think it will. A raunchy comedy, summertime is the right time for it, with no hard feelings. I just don't know if it'll. It'll be in the. Those will be in the top three for sure. Spider-Verse, I think. I loved Elemental. I thought it was really good, but I think Elemental might drop down to the fourth spot, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse they'll flip-flop. So here's what I'm saying. I think I could be wrong about this. Flash will be number one, barely. And then I don't even think No Hard Feelings will make 15. Yeah, I think it'll go Flash, barely, then Spider-Man, and then Elemental, and then maybe Asteroid City in the fourth spot, and then No Hard Feelings in the fifth spot. Yeah, that's what I'm forecasting, guys. The Blackening will also have some expanded theaters going into this week as well, because it only opened up in 1,700 last week. Asteroid City only had 6 theaters, but it made 853,000, and that's a lot for 6 theaters. So it's got potential. So I think Asteroid City will beat No Hard Feelings because Wes Anderson's got clout, but I just like The Flash. I think is going to be barely holding on to it, and I think Spider-Man will be number 2. Then I really hope Elemental gets some good word of mouth, some more good word of mouth, because the box office for The Flash, people are trying to make sense of it. Like it is going to be, it's a bomb. There's no doubt about it. I can't, as much as I tried to say that I enjoyed the film, and I was really hoping that it was going to be $1 billion. The Flash is not going to be $1 billion film. It's going to be a bomb. So those talks about having a sequel script ready, you can, just forget about that. It's not going to happen. This will be the last time that we see these characters in the Snyderverse characters. And all I can say is what I said in my review. That's all I can do is say thank you. Thank you for giving us a really cool send-off and letting us see Batfleck and Gal Gadot and all those little cool cameos that you showed us about from like Christopher Reeves and stuff like that. Thank you. That's all I can say is thank you. It's going to be one of those movies where I'm glad that it was made, right? But people try to diagnose the fall of the DCU. There's no denying that after Aquaman 2 comes out, I don't even think Aquaman 2 is going to make it's going to follow the same track as this, the same trajectory. It's not going to be big, and a lot of it has to do with Man of Steel not being all that good. And as much as people like B versus S was better, Suicide Squad, it just like it lacked vision there. Like how was this? Like Batfleck was there in Suicide Squad, but it was kind of like they were jumping the shark a little bit, right? Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot was fine. Wonder Woman 2, not so much. Justice League, the only way I feel like I can watch Justice League is the Snyder Cut. A lot of people had fun with Aquaman. Shazam was okay. Joker there is Elseworlds, and that'll always be Elseworlds. Birds of Prey I saw it in the theater. I never thought I needed to see it again. And as you can see, the numbers just came down here, right? The Batman is also Elseworlds. So out of those two, Joker and Elseworlds. But everything else, look at the trajectory of everything coming out in the theaters. It's going down. So somehow, James Gunn has to come out with the new Superman movie. Despite they say that Blue Beetle is going to be like the new character in the DC. I don't think Blue Beetle, my thoughts are Blue Beetle's going to come and go and nobody's going to know the wiser. Superman has to come out. It's got to deliver. It can't be dark. It can't be the should I use my superpowers or shouldn't I don't know, I'm conflicted. It can't be that. It can't be that at all. And if they try to go down that route, then they're in trouble, because that's exactly what Snyder tried to do, right? They can't go for well, how would the world realistically deal with Superman? You can't do that either. You can't do that. So those are just some things that impacted The Flash. And sorry, I'm digressing a little bit, but people try to make sense of it. as we go into the weekend and the weekend numbers. What do you guys think about things opening up this weekend? Are you going to go see some of these movies and look at the box office? Let me know in the comments below and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. Movie news. Movie news talk channel. Yes. Okay, guys. There are all my other social media handles that you can follow me right there. And there you go. Yeah. El Muerto, talking about Sony and Marvel. That was supposed to be coming out. Let's talk about that. El Muerto, Bad Bunny's Marvel film pulled from Sony release schedule. Yeah. Guys, this is another one of those films where it's kind of like, I don't know who this. Most of us don't know who the heck El Muerto is. And I don't mean that in disrespect. I don't. It's kind of like Madame Web. Most of us have no idea who these characters are. Like Craven, we know a little bit because of Spider-Man, right? El Muerto, I just kind of like, oh, I like Bad Bunny in Bullet Train, but other than that, I don't know that much about him as an entity, as an actor, to carry a solo film. And, well, I guess it's not going to be an issue. It's moot. They've pulled it from the schedule. Like it seems like it's not going to happen. Again, villain-centric movie. If he's a villain, I didn't know that. Like I agree with inclusion, but again, it's kind of like these. Watching the Craven the Hunter trailer, which is my reactions up on the channel right now. I just had the feeling that it looked okay in the trailer, just like Morbius looked okay in the trailer. I just hope that I don't come out of it going like, huh? And El Muerto had that meh vibe even before going into it. It's like, why are we making this, right? And I don't mean it as disrespect, but it seems like it's been pulled from the schedule. It was originally supposed to come out September 22nd, 2023. No, and it was moved to. Yeah, that's not happening. It was. Were they even shooting this thing? I don't think so. What do you think about removing? It's not going to be a big thing. I just think for some reason executives were just, we got to do everything superheroes. We got to do everything superheroes. And they were just greenlighting everything. We had Wonder Twins at one point, right? And that got canceled. And it's like, no, guys, think about the story and the narrative. How's El Muerto going to fit in the bigger picture, right? How's Blue? I know Blue Beetle's DC, but like, how will Blue Beetle fit into the new James Gunn vision? Will it at all? I don't know. It's just El Muerto. How's he going to fit in the MCU? Right? Are there plans for him to fight Spider-Man or any other MCU people? And let me guess, he's going to be the conflicted anti-hero that we've seen already with Venom, right? It's just what happens is that with all of this flooding of content is that you dilute everything. It becomes meaningless to a lot of this casual fan base, where it's kind of like, who's this guy again? I'll just wait for streaming. That's what it's going to happen. So it got pulled. That's what I surmised happened. And bummer for Bad Bunny. Bummer for El Muerto fans. What do you guys think about that? Secret Invasion debuted on Disney Plus yesterday, and we did a full live watch along here on the channel. A lot of people, I guess, were up in arms over this. I don't know. There's a couple things that we need to talk about. Secret Invasion, Method Studio, who created the AI intro, claims it did not cost artists jobs. Yeah, apparently the opening credits used AI to make the crawl. I guess people are like, well, you can't use AI, because if you use AI, then you take the dignity away from the artists that would be hired for that job, the human people. Okay, so I guess they came under fire for that. I didn't notice. I found like the credits were too long. I'm for a TV show, I just prefer it nice and quick. But they got to have these long credits things. The other controversy was, if you didn't see it, what happened to Maria Hill. She was trending yesterday on Twitter. So a lot of people were like, no, not Maria Hill. Colby Summers, right? I like her. I it was, I was like, episode 1 of Secret Invasion was really good, and it'll leave you with that moment of going, right? And not necessarily in all the ways that you think. Like there's sort of spoilers there with these headlines here, like that. But there's some other things in there too that'll make you go, wow, I like what they're doing here, and a lot of that has to do with Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, I'm mostly on board for that. But other than that, guys, what do you think about some of the controversy swirling around Secret Invasion? As I said, we did a full live watch along for it. It's up on the channel right now. Go check that out. What else can you find here on Mirror Domains? Well, we do full live watch alongs for all. We watched Black Widow this week, and we had lots of fun with that. So go check that out. Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh. Really, I like the film, but I agree with the sentiments that it was meh. Extraction 2 is up on the channel right now, too, guys. We reacted to that. Chris Hemsworth. Oh, we had lots of fun with that one. Really good. My movie reviews for Elemental and The Flash are up on the channel. Go check those out if you want to hear my thoughts, and including spoiler discussion in there as well. So tomorrow we're doing a poll for Finding Nemo, Iron Giant, or Turning Red that you can go over in the community tab and vote for the next movie that we'll be watching tomorrow morning. And let's just go over to the poll right now and see where it stands to see if, Finding Nemo is at 70% and Turning Red is at 0. Nobody wants to see Turning Red. Well, that was what people felt that when it came out last year in the box office results. I was just like, nobody wants this. And it's Pixar. Oh, Pixar's struggling, man. And it sucks because Elemental was good. But it looks more likely than not that we will be watching Finding Nemo tomorrow at 10 a.m. Grumpy Man Reacts. So come join us tomorrow morning. And if you want to contribute and you want to participate, go vote in that poll. Because that's what we do here on the channel. We have just lots of fun like this kind of stuff. We talk movies, we watch series. I let you in with all my knowledge and insights of the lore and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun here on Mirror Domains. Hit that thumbs up button. I'm hoping that you guys can join our little community here because we got some good people in the live chat. Speaking of it, for some reason, the live chat is not coming up there. I'll have to fix that later on. Let me see if I can do that. That's weird. All right, now it's fixed. Okay. John Wick Director's Cut. John Wick Chapter 4. Let's talk about this. John Wick 4. Chad Stahelski has been working on a director's cut. Now, this movie was already pretty long. It was a shade under 3 hours or over. John Wick 4, Chad Stahelski says that he's been working on a director's cut of the sequel, John Wick Chapter 4. And it's still John Wick 4 is still going to be one of my favorite movies of the year so far. It's going to be in the top 5 for sure. He says, quote, "Yeah, I've been working on the director's cut, the extended cut, which we've almost finished. There's about another, I think, 10 or 15 minutes we put back in." Okay, close quote. Cool. And that'll be on the 4K Ultra HD. Oh, I gotta get that. I'm gonna get the 4K because that looks so crisp up on the big screen. I thought that John Wick Chapter 4 definitely requires the 4K cut, which means I need to go out and buy a 4K TV screen so that I can enjoy the fruits of his labors there. That ending too. Fantastical. We know that there's talks of possibly a John Wick Chapter 5, of course, because money talks, John Wick. But I hope I'm on board for this extended cut that puts in for another couple minutes. Sometimes it adds to the film. Sometimes it's just fun to see what else was cut. But sometimes it also can, make it kind of like, well, I see why that was cut. I can see why that was cut. I hope it's the latter situation where it's like, oh, that's interesting. How could you cut that out, kind of thing, right? Yeah. So we cut out a big chunk of Berlin, a whole character called the Frau, which is a pretty funny scene with John and another scene between him and Tracker. Okay, so he's just going through some of the stuff that was cut. Um, all right. I think all the stuff is super quality. I love the choreo. I love the characters. It just didn't, as a whole, it changed the pace of the film. And I didn't think I could get, 2 and 38-minute film in there. Oh, okay. So yeah, some of it has to go. Well, that's just what happens. Donnie Yen in this one was cool too. I want to see John, if they go with John Wick Chapter 5, I want to see maybe him taking a little bit more of the heavy lifting acting wise, because there was some more story there that we could have seen for sure. Yeah, John Wick Chapter 4 director's cut. I'll be getting that on 4K Blu-ray or 4K and Blu-ray, whatever. We'll see. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on. Mission Impossible 7. That comes out in just a couple weeks, guys. Like 3 weeks now. Tom Cruise shot Mission Impossible stunt on day 1, so the crew would know, do we continue or is it a major rewrite if I fail? Yeah, they showcased this stunt throughout the production. So they let this stunt go early that, yeah, this is what they were going to do. Him driving a motorcycle off a cliff with like a parachute on. And they put it in the trailers, guys. So I'm really looking forward to Mission Impossible 7. The early buzz out for it is good. I think Perry Nemiroff had a quick little tweet about it saying that she really enjoyed it. So I want to go see this in IMAX. I want to drive to another city to see the stunts pay off on the big screen. But the point is well taken. I understand this. Hey, if a stunt's not going to work, you might as well try it right up off the bat so that if it doesn't, we'll need to retool this, right? I'm guessing that this will be like maybe the stunt that starts the movie. It will have to be, right? Because there's stuff that we've seen in the trailer where there's on a train sequence of some kind again. There's a car chase sequence in Italy somewhere. Yeah. So I'm guessing that'll be kind of like the Bond moment, the Bond opening style for Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Headline, of course, Tom Cruise always talking about his movies and stuff. Hey, you know what this does? It just gets us talking about it. It's good for promotion. I'm on board for this. And I'm hoping that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 will not suffer some of the defeats that some of these other big blockbusters like Transformers and even Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, people said that they liked it, but guys, it just barely is going to be crossing the $500 million mark. So it's kind of like, even for the movies that people are liking this summer, people are just not going out in droves to see these. And I hope the stunt work. I hope Tom Cruise, he'll make it pop, guys. He'll make it pop. I'm really looking, that's my next one, like, that I'm really looking forward to. Indiana Jones 5, I should be, but I'm kind of like, I'm hoping Indiana Jones 5 will be good. I'm hoping it'll be good, but Mission Impossible 7, I know will be good, right? Even if I feel a little bit meh about the story visually, we're not going to have to worry about stunt men with Tom Cruise's CGI face on, like what we see with Indiana Jones 5, with stuntmen riding horses with Harrison Ford's face stapled on there. Yeah, that's what we see. But we'll see. Okay. So Mission Impossible opens up the week before Oppenheimer, and then Oppenheimer comes up, which is going to take some of the IMAX screens away from Mission Impossible. That's why Tom Cruise was upset about that. But talking about Oppenheimer, let's talk about this, because Christopher Nolan has come out and said, well, some people think of it as a horror. Oppenheimer, A horror? Christopher Nolan says some Oppenheimer viewers walk out devastated and they can't speak. It's kind of a horror movie. Well, it's about the guy who developed the atomic bomb. So I could see that some people would be thinking that yeah, that's a horrific thing. And we all heard that he somehow found a way to emulate like the big explosion, the test explosions. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't know if, like, Nolan's obsessed with the IMAX, shooting things with the IMAX cameras. And yes, it will take away some screenings from the Mission Impossible for the Oppenheimer experience. We heard that, yeah, some of the IMAX screening containers are like 600 pounds and stuff like that. It's going to look fantastic. We know that. But it's kind of a horror movie. We know that some people will get radiation poison. I don't think we'll show like body horror. But I think conceptually is what he means, right? Conceptually, that it's horrific that we created a weapon that can destroy ourselves, kind of thing. The film might emotionally destroy you, speaking to the Wired magazine in a new interview. Oh, well, he dies of smoking, right? He had lung cancer or something. Are they going to show that? Nolan said about some early Oppenheimer viewers had a visceral reaction to the film, which follows theoretical physicist Oppenheimer, played by Cillian Murphy, as he creates the atomic bomb to the end of World War II. Quote, some people leave the movie absolutely devastated. Nolan said they can't speak. I mean, there's an element of fear there that's in the history, and there is an underpinning, and there are in the underpinnings. But the love of the characters and the love of the relationships is as strong as ever I've done. Well, he does characters well, but he's never batted to that level of where characters in his movies could be Oscar worthy. And I hope that's going to be different this time around for Cillian Murphy. And I hear good things about his wife, played by Emily Blunt, in this too. So I'm looking forward to Oppenheimer. Horrific though, a horror. I think it's just opening people's eyes to, the dangers of splitting the atom, right? How close we were to actually maybe even making North America uninhabitable because of radiation fallout. That kind of stuff. Just opening people's eyes to how dangerous this kind of weaponry is. That is horrific. In my opinion, it is. What do you guys think? Oppenheimer as a horror. What do you? Are you still going to go see it? Just brace yourself, because it could be that kind of horrific style. So, some live comments here. Chris Schober says, I rented The Turning Red on Disney. It was not a good movie. John Wick, Chapter 4, Director's Cut. How long is it going to be? Well, they said they had 15 minutes more, so like 3 hours and 15 minutes, right? Why is that not happening? It's not updating for some reason. My chat capture. It's being insolent. Huh. Let me just see if I can adjust this. This will be my last time of trying to. Okay, no live chat here today for some reason. A bummer. Can't slow down the show for that, guys. My apologies. But it'll be over there on the live chat in the YouTube section. All right. Let's get back into some horror movie news headlines, because I do like horror. Insidious 5, The Red Door, has got its rating out, and I expected that it was going to be rated R, but perhaps not. Insidious, The Red Door, earns a PG-13 rating as tickets go on sale. So unless, like, if you live in a big city, then of course, I guess you would need advanced tickets. I live in a reasonably big city, but in a tri-city area, and I don't need advanced tickets. You guys seen my demonstrations of that before, but and I am looking forward to Insidious: The Red Door, PG-13. I don't. Oh yeah, Insidious is one of those movies where um, it's not bloody, it's not gory. Now, I'm guessing it's also not going to have a lot of F bombs because it isn't it after there's a certain limit for F bombs that they can drop before it becomes rated R. And I think they're allowed 2 right now. Anything more than that, then it's rated R for some weird god awful reason. You can have blood, but you can't show like Leatherface chopping somebody in half. Oh god, that movie was so much fun. I know. I like the latest Texas Chainsaw movie, but I know people didn't. But I am looking forward to Insidious: The Red Door, PG-13, for violence, terror, frightening images, strong language, and suggestive references. Yeah, it's a ghost story. A lot of it will have flash scares, jump scares, disturbing kind of demonic stuff. Because we know that the Darth Maul monster is going to be back in this one, right? Directed by Patrick Wilson himself. There, I'm looking forward to this. Insidious: The Red Door debuts July. I thought it was July 6th or something. July 7th, yeah. Right? Pre-tickets? July 7th, yeah. PG-13. Looking forward to it. I'll be going to watch it for sure. Hopefully it doesn't get me all freaked out, but yeah, no. I love horror. It is one of my favorite genres for sure. All right. M. Night Shyamalan's next movie reveals a setting for his thriller, Trap. M. Night Shyamalan reveals the setting of his next thriller. Okay, psychological thriller, which is all tied up in Trap. So last October, Universal announced that he'll be working with M. Night Shyamalan again for April 5th, 2024. So he's got to be shooting it by now, right? Yeah, it was a multi-year deal with Warner Bros. So cool. So he has a plan, so the plan has changed. The filmmaker will now be making the next thriller titled Trapped for Warner Bros., who have not yet announced the release date project, so he's changed that up. They still got time for that. And Shyamalan's somebody who's got, he's not going to be too affected by things like the writer's strike, because he's got all of these scripts ready to go pretty much, because that's all, he's a writer too, right? He wrote these movies too. And despite they saying that you can't work on stuff, he'll be at home unofficially doing stuff, because that's just what you do in your time off. You don't play video games. He writes. You can't tell somebody not to stop something that they like doing. It just won't be officially done, kind of thing. And that's the way I look at it. M. Night recently for Collider, with Trap being the first of 3 of his next 3 movies with this new deal. I have 3 movie ideas. I have the structure of all 3 to some extent, and it's very weird and interesting situation I'm feeling. I wish I could tell them faster. I wish I could get there faster, but there is no shortcut. I have to spend the 6 to 9 months to write it. I have to storyboard for 3 months, and then we have pre-production and then shooting it and edit for as long as I get every single second. So yeah, Shyamalan, somebody who spends a lot of time in pre-production work, which I really respect, because as much as I like working with actors, I'm a little bit like, I'm aware of this process of storyboarding things, I only like to storyboard stuff for visual effects, that'll contain visual effects. Like I get a gist of certain action sequences that, yeah, you got to storyboard that stuff. But when it's just actors in like a room or something, that's when I like to go workshop with the actors. We'll say, well, this is our location. We'll workshop this until you guys get it feeling the way that you want it, and then we'll go shoot it like that. I'm sure he does the same too. I'm sure he does. But pre-production, yeah, storyboarding stuff, just insights into the filmmaking process, which is always cool for Shyamalan. Trap. Yeah, so not too much about the details, right? Not too much. And I like Knock Guy at the Cabin. It's not going to be one of my favorite movies of the year, but I enjoyed the experience, right? Trap is going to be, what is this? A psychological thriller set at a concert. Oh, you know what? I had, if you guys don't know, I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, and right now she's doing the Eras tour. And I was just thinking, yeah, having a thriller like that at a big concert like that, kind of like Jean-Claude Van Damme's sudden death that took place at like at a hockey game. You could do something like that, but have it at a big concert, like a Taylor Swift concert. Hey, well, you know, in the backgrounds, there's some guy trying to save the day, kind of thing. That's what I would do. I would use it as an excuse to finally meet my idol, Taylor Swift. No, I don't know, guys. I'm just fooling around here. All right, where are we at? 11:41. Oh God, I don't want to get into this story, but we got to. Tenoch Huerta, who played in Wakanda Forever, the bad guy Namor. I guess he exits Netflix's Fiesta en la Madriguera following sexual assault allegation. Guys, yeah, no, he denies everything like this. He's going to fight it, but this is bad PR for the MCU. I didn't hate Namor, but Wakanda Forever was definitely a huge step down. They made the mistake. They should have recast Black Panther. You know, I like Shuri, I do, but she wasn't enough to carry the film. And she's not going to be enough to carry the franchise forward. They should have recast. But that's an old argument. Let's just deal with Tenoch here. He's getting, well, I guess he's saying, you're out of other things. This is starting to affect him. And just like Jonathan Majors and his trial coming up, and how he was part of ad campaigns, they're saying that he's out. And it's going to happen with Tenoch here as well. There'll be things that he'll be part of, that he was going to be part of, that now he's going to be excused from, because they can't, right? They can't deal with it. So I'm not going to read into his quotes and responses to this. I'm just going to look at it as a casual fan, because we don't have all the information. This is one of those things where I don't want to come out to bat for him and then have damning evidence come out and say, James, you shouldn't have said that about him, because now how do you look? But I also don't want to go out and say that he's guilty and then have him come out and be fine, right? Right now, we just got to take a measured response here to let the process work. And if he comes out fine, then he'll come out fine. That's the way that I kind of look at it. Bifer says, Baby Rexa getting hit by a cell phone. Yeah, that sucked. Baby Rexa getting hit by the phone. That was not cool, in my opinion. Let's see if that fits in. And I did a story about that, about Baby Rexa getting hit by the phone there the other day. And I do follow her on Instagram. So she posted pictures of her eye on Instagram. Let me pull that up. My bad. Whoops. What am I doing here? I'm losing my spot here. So, yeah, we'll pull up Baby Rexa here. Because I wish I added this to that video. But I didn't realize that at the time that she had posted stuff about her eye. Okay. Yeah, and it got her. We saw the footage in my video about it. She got hit and she fell down. Yeah, there she is. Looks like she's got a couple of, I don't know if it's just taped, but she's a trooper. Yeah, Yeah, I hate to see that, man. I hate to see that, and I said that in my video. It's just an unnecessary thing. If things like that continue to happen, eventually concerts are going to be kind of like um, places where there'll be like plexiglass barriers between like the artist and fans. It'll just like, because security will be like, we're not doing that anymore. All right, let's move on to some hit or miss headlines. This is where if it's a hit, we'll talk about it, and if it's a miss, we'll move on. This one's kind of a hit, but not really. It doesn't really impact us too much. Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, and Paul Thomas Anderson heartened about TCM after talks with David Zaslav. Yeah, apparently Zaslav, this Turner Classic Movies channel, it's a TV channel that does classic movies, falls under the umbrella of David Zaslav, CEO of like Warner Bros. And DC and stuff like that. I guess he was doing some restructuring over there at TCM, and Scorsese and Spielberg and Paul Thomas Anderson there were thinking that he might just axe it because he's been axing a lot of things. He's been getting rid of a lot of things, and they're worried that it may go away, but they're heartened that it's still going to be, well, around. And since there's no definitive answer on this, the TCM shakeup comes as WB is undergoing a round of cuts. So they're worried that the Turner Classic Movies channel will get cut. And it's like, so they went to bat for it. That's pretty much all you need to know. Will it have any power? Will Zaslav say, okay, if you like classic movies, then that may be your bag. Keep your eye on that one. Tadam was an event in Brazil, and I'm pulling this article because of the headline. Tadam live stream scores 78 million views, but Netflix CMO reassures of success is all those crying fans. The real success is all the fans in Brazil. Now, that I wholeheartedly disagree. And because you didn't have 78 million people there in Brazil. Yes, it's fun to be in front of a big crowd. And this is the thing, this is what's wrong with things like CinemaCon, BlizzCon, all these cons, Comic-Con, where it's like, yeah, it's fun to have it in front of people, but you got to start live streaming this stuff. You got to make it available for everybody because people will pay for these live streams. 78 million views. That's more than what, like, this is just puffery. This is posturing by the CMO there by Netflix, saying that he's just trying to appease the fans, saying thank you for coming out and stuff like that. But 78 million people on the live stream, that's the bigger headline, and that's the direction that these cons have to go, right? Arnold was there at Tadam. I think I saw him and Gal Gadot out on stage. A lot of things were presented there, yeah, because of Netflix. And Arnold's like the action coordinator for Netflix now. And they were promoting Gal Gadot's new movie. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I understand that you go for PR purposes, you got to appease people, saying that it's worth it. It's like the rock stars that get up on stage when they're playing a performance and they're in the town of "You rock Springfield" or "You're the best ever New York City," and then they'll go to the next city and say, "You're the best Chicago. Thank you very much for." It's that kind of thing. That's what I get out of this headline. It's like, "You're the best, Brazil," and all the fans there. It was totally worthwhile having it there, right? Well, unfortunately, money and numbers talk. 78 million views on the live stream. You know what's up, right? We know what's up. We can sniff past that BS meter. Hopefully we can, guys. Hopefully we can. Let's move on. Priscilla Sofia Coppola tells her own Elvis story. Priscilla Sofia Coppola tells her own Elvis story. A newly released trailer for the film starring Jacob Elordi and Kaylee Spaney. Yeah, Kaylee Spaney. I wanted to see this trailer for her, Kaylee Spaney, because she was in the Craft right? Legacy. And she's going to be in that new Alien film, right? Where there's like a bunch of teens or something. Now, it's just a quick little snippet of a teaser. It's not that long. What I liked about it, though, was that it's really, really from Priscilla's point of view of her meeting the boss, right? Or not the boss, the king. Someday Springsteen will have his day in the light. But yeah, based on the book Elvis and Me by Priscilla Presley herself. So it's been, obviously gotten the thumbs up by Priscilla Presley herself. It's only 44 seconds. Kaylee Spaney, I think he'll be fine in this, right? Jacob Elordi, I thought maybe at one time he was going to be up for maybe Superman, but it doesn't sound like he's going to be in the picture. But he's playing Elvis in this one. I was worried about this because we just had Elvis last year, right? And I thought maybe this would be kind of like a rehash. But this really solidified that it's going to be mostly from her perspective, her meeting him, her background before she met him, and the impacts of all that stuff. It's from Sofia Coppola, who I really like as a filmmaker. I like her style. She's got a really different style to her, like just like all directors, but like I like her style. Marie Antoinette is my favorite film of hers, but this looks like it's on that same kind of course, and it looks like Kaylee Spaney there's going to be a good job in this. Did you guys go check out this trailer? Let Her Story Be Told, and somebody said no. So it literally just dropped not that long ago. So Priscilla, I thought it was worth seeing. Worth checking out the trailer at least. Jacob Elordi's Elvis, Kaylee Spaney. Anybody else that jumps out at me here in the cast? Not really. But let's just make that confirmation that Kaylee Spaney was going to be in that new Alien movie, which I'm looking forward to. Yeah, the Craft Legacy. Actually, I didn't mind the Craft Legacy. It got a little bit weird towards the end with David Duchovny, but, it is what it is. Whoops. Okay, so she's going to be in Predator. Alien Romulus. That's what it's called. Well, that's the working title, Romulus. That's the Fade Alvarez one, right? The director of the 2013 Evil Dead movie. Yeah, Priscilla. So, I thought that was worth checking out. That was a hit for me, at least. Maybe some people are a little, are you overdone with the Elvis stuff? I am a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I still want to see it. The Passenger, Kyle Gallner stars in Blumhouse thriller with August release date. Yes. The Passenger, a dramatic thriller produced by Blumhouse and starring Kyle Gallner, who we just last saw in the movie Smile. He was the cop in Smile, right? So I guess this has been announced. VOD release August 4th. Well, I'm a horror fan. There he is. He was also in the reboot or the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. You recognize him. Does The Passenger sound like something you would watch this August? Well, give me the synopsis. The logline reads, The Passenger follows the journey two flawed, complex characters embark on after a sudden life-altering event leads them to confront the troubles in their past, to right the wrongs in their lives before time runs out. Randy is perfectly content fading into the background, but when his co-worker Benson goes on a sudden violent rampage, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake, Randy is forced to face his fears and confront his troubled past in order to survive. So I'm guessing that he's going to be playing the one that goes on a violent rampage. Well, it's horror. I do like horror, guys. Keep my eye on it. What's next? Julian Sands. Search continues 6 months after his disappearance. Yeah, he was out hiking in an avalanche area. And he went missing. He was in Warlock. He was in Arachnophobia. And by now, guys, here's the thing. If if he fell and he got hurt, and it's 6 months now, you're finding a body, or he just went off to live out on his own somewhere, and he doesn't want to be found. And if he doesn't want to be found, he's going to cover his tracks, and that's it. But I only pulled this article because it was like, well, after that much time, what's the point of this? And basically, when I read this, it says the outcome may not be what we would like, but our goal is to bring closure to the family of Mr. Sands. So the family out there, just wants some kind of closure. Yeah, you probably, if he was eaten, then you're not going to find remains. It's just kind of like, I got the impression he was out hiking. He fell down a crevice or something, or injured himself to the point where he couldn't move, and then that was it. It sucks because he was a good actor. I liked him even in small cameos like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Fincher's Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He just had that. He had that look, and it's a tragic way to die. Bummer, man. Next, Dune Part 2 script was worked on by The Last of Us creator. Huh. So, Happy, Sad, Confused, The Last of Us series creator Craig Mazin revealed his involvement with Dune Part 2. So he wrote this, huh? He was on board with tooling the script. I'm looking forward to Dune Part 2. So that's an interesting headline, right? Worth checking out. Just to know that the guy who worked on The Last of Us, which we really enjoyed here on the channel, full live watch-alongs, go check those out, was involved with Dune Part 2. Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2. That's still my number one anticipated movie of the remaining of the year for sure. All right, guys. That is all I have in the can for today. So I thought that we would just take a look at the old... I don't think that there's going to be much trending. In case there's a trailer that dropped or something, we'll do that tomorrow. But join us tomorrow for... It looks like it's going to be Finding Nemo. Come join us for that. And then next week, guys, next Friday, there's probably going to be... I don't know if there's going to be a show or not. Because next Friday, I think I'm going to pick up my new computer. And it's going to be a beast. Streaming in 720 is not going to be a thing anymore. Like next week will be the last week that we do that for sure. Because we'll be streaming in 1080. I'll be having stuff in... Yeah, it's going to be... I can't wait. I'm excited for it. It'll be worth it. And the rig that I'm buying, as I said, it's going to be a beast. It's going to be a beast. So Jennifer Lawrence, it's going to be on Hot Ones. Oh yeah, that's right. That's cool. I'm going to have to watch that. I do like Jennifer Lawrence. And to see her come out and eat some of these hot wings. I like hot wings, but I can't handle the stuff that burns, like peels the layer of skin off your tongue. I can't handle that hot. I'll be looking forward to that. First trailer for Dumb Money, Paul Dano, Shailene Woodley. Well, it's got Shailene Woodley in it, and it's got my attentions. Pete Davidson, Hold the Line. Based on an insane true story, Dumb Money. What's it about again? It's a creator of Bitcoin or something. Watching it for Shailene Woodley, that's why I'll be watching that one. Dominique Fishback. She was in Transformers. Oh, God, why do we need to see that? Get that out. Jeez, man, put on a shirt. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will be released on VOD July 7th. Okay. When, shouldn't it be on Disney Plus July 7th? The Shining. Why is The Shining trending? Is there going to be a reboot? The Shining? Just some people putting their best horror movies. Yeah, The Shining is one of the best horror movies ever made, in my opinion. Elizabeth Olsen and Alicia Vikander to star in The Assessment. It is set in the future where everything is controlled. The lives of a couple are put under scrutiny by a female assessor who must decide if they deserve to have children. Well, that's two of my favorite actresses, up there in the top 15 at least. Elizabeth Olsen and Alicia Vikander. Awesome. We need more Alicia Vikander. She's in that new Henry the Fifth or Eighth film that's coming out with Jude Law. I want to see that one. That's on my radar. But, of course, my top 5 are like, Scarlett Johansson, Jennifer Lawrence, Kate Blanchett, Charlize Theron. Yeah. Lots of really cool ones in there. Hurt My Feelings. Who else do I like? Halle Berry. Some there for me. Halle Bailey is getting there too, maybe. Zendaya is my 5th one, I think. And she was just in a trailer too for something called, it looked like they were having a really racy sequence in that. Ryan Gosling. Yeah, he hit the biceps up, right? For his role as Ken. All right. I think that's all I got for today, guys. Byfer says in the live chat, use Ninite and Chocolate A to reinstall your computer programs. Well, actually, I don't really have that many computer programs. OBS has a file that switches my interface over, but because I use a 720 frame, I'm going to have to readjust the frames to 1080. Other than that, I can just re-download stuff. Oh, except for my Adobe. I don't use Adobe Premiere. I may start to. I don't know. I use Adobe Premiere Elements. That's what I use for my thumbnails and my editing. We'll see. We'll get it all fixed. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's it for me. Come join us tomorrow for the watch along for the Grumpy Man Reacts. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I'll cut out some of these stories and put them up on the channel later on. Enjoy the rest of your day. You're watching Mirror Domains.